Are you aware of actors who sometimes when they get to the end of a scene in rehearsal, they actually call scene? They stop acting and call scene. It always makes me laugh because that's kind of my job as the director, is to say, okay, the scene is now over. But some actors do that. Maybe you've done it on some occasions. And it always makes me think that that actor is not clear about what the importance of an ending is. And that's what I want to explore today in this 31st Talking Acting. The importance of endings and how to deal with them. Because if you watched last week's Talking Acting, you would have heard me say that with the play that I had just seen, when I got to the final scene, I finally realised what the play was about. Because that's what the ending of the whole production should do. It should not only complete the telling of the plot, of the story that's been carried, but it should also make it clear what the point of the story was, why I needed to watch it. So landing the ending of the whole play is a really important part of the storytelling. And it's really important that the actors fulfill their role in delivering both those elements. But what about the ending of a scene? Well, they're really important too, because the ending of a scene signposts the where your character is at in their journey through the story and in their task of dealing with the difficulty that the story is confronting them with. And so an ending of a scene is going to tell the audience where your character is at this particular point. And it's important that that ending is both clear and active. And one of the things that it's going to be signposting, pointing to, is the difficulties that are ahead. So you need to make sure that your ending isn't inert. I can remember on Neighbours, when I was directing Neighbours, this is many decades ago, that there was a producer's memo saying, can directors please stop actors sighing at the end of the scene? Because it had become a common problem. At the end of every scene, actors would go, well, I've said my lines. And when they do that, when you sigh, you take the story energy out and everything stands still. So you need to keep your story energy actively focused on, so what's going to happen next? And the way that you do that is by doing what I call landing the ending of a scene. And you do that by assessing how you've just gone in the conversation you've been having in the scene and whether you've had a win or a lose. And that assessment process sometimes might be really quick, or it can take quite some time. And so it's that process of your character working out where they're at, that assessment process, that lands the ending, and it gives the audience time to assess too where you're at. Now, it doesn't have to be that that assessment is a darkly intense one, just because you're dealing with a problem. It could be a hopeful one. But either way, it's telling the audience that there's still more to happen. There's still more to be travelled to get to the actual end of the story. So you've got to keep the storytelling energy alive. And what I say to actors is, having landed the ending once, you can also land it then a second time, which gives the director another option as to when to get out of the scene. And the way that you land the ending a second time is the same way you do it in life, which is to reassess whether my first choice, that's what I do, I think I've had a win. I reassess that moment. Yeah, I think I've had a win. Right, now I can get on with doing what the character would do next. And maybe that means literally moving out of the frame to do to pursue the next task. But there's another area in which endings are really important, and that's with the ending of lines. Because again, there's a habit that many actors have of dropping the ending of the line. And when you drop an ending of a line, you send a message to the person you're talking to and also to the audience that what you've just said wasn't really very important. So you're disengaging your audience and you're not driving the difficulty forward with the character that you're talking to if you're going, oh, I've just said something that's not very important. So it's essential to keep story moving that you keep your endings of lines up. That's what keeps them active. So there you go. 3 important things about endings and how to manage them. I'll be talking acting again next week. Cheers. If you have a question about this unique approach to acting process, you can email richard@rehearsalroom.com. Make a booking for a free 30-minute chat or download the ebook. It's free too.